Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are doing a project out in my parents' garden. It's so nice to be out here. Oh my goodness, and it's beautiful. Look at this. This is where we're going to be working, right down in here in this little terraced area. The crabapple is in full glorious bloom, as are the forget-me-nots. Here comes Mom.
Hey.
We're going to start off with some weeding.
Yes, it's kind of out of control. It's an area I haven't even touched this spring. So this is the real deal.
You know what? Looking at it though, like, I don't really notice any weeds. I just notice all the beautiful plants.
Look at that really nice yellow one.
Well, I can see that one.
With the white fluffy top.
But you would have to you really look hard. There's a lot going on. You employ the art of distraction very well.
Well, so I employ the art of tucking things in.
Well, that's true. That is true.
In.
So we will be starting with just a little bit of weed cleanup here, a little itty bit. Of the tiny amount of weeds I see. But the main goal of today is to plant some David Austin Evelyn Roses. And this is kind of a funny story because you've loved Evelyn Roses for
decades.
A very, very long time, but they went out of production for, do you know why?
From what I was told by our rep, it was a disease issue. I don't know if they had a terrible problem with black spot. I don't know what it was, but they just decided not to grow it because it was too problematic. And then they must have gotten...
They cleared up the issue.
I don't know. They must have found an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I didn't realize that. And I saw that Grace Rose Farm, where we've ordered some roses before, and they've got a cut flower business like online where you can order and have them delivered wherever. And they're beautiful. But I noticed they were advertising that they had Evelyn Rose plants for sale, and I thought, oh my gosh, Mother's Day gift. This is perfect. So I immediately got online. This is like in January, and I ordered 6, and I thought I'll come out and plant 3 for Mom, and I'll plant 3 in our garden. And so I was so excited about it. And then you guys got your David Austins in at the garden center, and you got a whole bunch of them. And I thought, dang it.
Yes.
That was going to be the perfect gift. So I went ahead and actually bought you something different for Mother's Day, which I think she's going to love.
You did not need to do that.
But the funny part is that you brought me as a surprise 3 Evelyn Roses after I helped out down at the garden center one of the days this spring. And so then here I am with 9. I have now 9 Evelyn Roses.
Can't have too many.
I guess so.
No.
But I thought it would be fun to bring out because I just received the Grace Rose Farm roses, to bring those out and plant them out here anyway. So that's what we have right here. I just wanted to show you what they look like when you get them versus I brought one of the ones that Mom brought us. So it just gives you an idea, like this is what they look like when you guys receive them at the garden center early on.
Yeah. As
bare root roses right here. We're going to soak them.
Good. Those look good.
I think so. Do you mind popping those open? I don't have 2 hands here.
Okay.
Yeah. They look robust and healthy. They're just not as far along as the ones that you could get, you know, down at a garden center that have already been planted up and they've already rooted and all that.
But this is really what ours look like, or similar to this. We get them the 3rd week in February.
Right.
And then so we pot them in our special mix that we have made up. And then so by the time we grow them on, this is what they look like.
Right.
You know, 1st of May. Yeah.
That's an interesting difference. I just thought it might be fun to see just what they look like a little bit further on as opposed to what they look like earlier on. So what we're going to do is pop all 6 of these bare root roses in a tub with some water so they can soak while we are doing our weeding job in here. Also, Mom brought home a really pretty hanging basket to pop in a container in that one right there.
Well, you know what I call these? I call these cheater baskets because I'm not growing it on. I'm just plopping it in there and making people think that I've grown that on.
Look at how good I am so early in the season. So
I have no pride.
They call this one Lilac Festival, and it's a mix of Supertunia Blue Veined right here, Supertunia Royal Velvet right here, and a Superbina Violet Ice, which is not in bloom yet, but I can see the foliage down in here.
Isn't it pretty?
That is a beautiful mix. I love that. Oh, I see Superbina buds right there.
It's such a violet-looking flower, or a velvet.
Yes, it is.
Looks like velvet.
It's a very apt name.
Yeah.
It's very aptly named.
Yeah.
Remind me what those are. Those colettes? Those climbing roses?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like ours that are on our arbors leading into our raised bed vegetable garden. Those are looking very healthy.
Those are colettes, and this is parsley from last summer.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You need to get on it. Make some things to garnish.
Like what?
I don't know. I always grow parsley and then I'm like, I always omit it. on almost anything that calls for it.
I do use it quite a bit.
Do you?
But I don't need that much parsley.
That's a lot of parsley.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And then look at that crab apple.
Yeah, that's a beauty. Do you remember what variety?
It's a lollipop.
Oh my, that's a lollipop. That's a proven winners variety.
Yeah.
Look at how big that is.
I know it.
When the tag says it gets 10 by 10 and you're comparing it to all the other trees, you think 10 by 10 is so small.
That's small. Yeah.
It's really, I mean, it's a good sized tree.
And look at the purple leaf. That's a filbert.
What kind of filbert is that?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember.
It's a purple filbert.
Yeah. It's a purple
That's really
purple
pretty.
filbert. Yeah.
I'm going to go down below to give you a view up because this garden is built into a hillside. So a lot of these rock walls were actually here when we moved in 1990. And that was just such a fun thing. It's fun to see how they've changed over the years, like the different levels. So I'm at the bottom level here. There used to be a linden tree. That one fell over. When did the linden fall over, Mom? Was that last year or year before?
Oh, no, it's been about
3 years?
3 years, right before a garden tour.
Oh, of course it was before a garden tour.
Like the day before. Yeah.
My goodness. So there was a huge linden right here. There was also a great big lilac right here that had to be taken out, but the lemony lace and the brunnera are just thriving in here. To the left, there's the fountain area. And then you can see the rock wall and rock stairs that lead up to the cutting garden.
I'm going to have a rail here one of these days.
I don't think so. You're going to always be spry.
Oh, yes. Always spry.
Always.
Yeah.
So if we come up this way, you can see the cutting garden. And are we putting the roses back in here? Mm-hmm. Perfect. There's a coralberry hedge and then a boxwood hedge.
And that's a pink snowberry.
Oh, pretty.
And oh my gosh, so we lost those two.
Oh, okay.
So we replanted them.
Yeah.
See how much darker green they are?
Yeah.
Until it hits our soil.
And our soil's kind of
Our
the worst.
soil is high pH.
Yep.
Now see, this is not a weed, but it's totally on our path.
I like it though.
It's being rude.
It's a rude plant.
It's rude because I can't get through here.
We're gonna pull that.
These are butterfly bushes that haven't done well. They're pugsters, I think. This one's good.
Yeah, that one looks good.
That one's good. But maybe we could do like a rose there and a rose here and possibly like one in here. I don't know. What do you
we
think?
could do 1, 2, 3, 4. I do have 7 roses.
Yeah, but I don't want to take all your roses.
Well, I'll have 2 left at home. That's plenty. I can tuck those in.
You can tuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And the other 3 are going out by the sheep barn, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but real quick, I just wanted to walk you through this area right here.
Isn't brunnera pretty?
Brunnera is awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And these are these amberge rose or?
They're tamaras.
Tamaras.
I think so.
There's some bleeding hearts
I want to make
in
some
here.
tags, Laura.
Yeah, we're always talking about making tags.
I think I'll always remember things and I always don't.
Same. You go through here, there's a viburnum. They used to have a boxwood right here, and you had about like 4 inches to get through them.
Yeah, we've got to scoot this path over a little bit.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
And you go through here, and then, oh my goodness, you
The
go
kids
underneath
like
this
this.
blooming crabapple. Oh, look at that. Okay, so that's our project for now. We're gonna go through, get it weeded. We'll put the hanging basket in, plant 3 or 4 roses up here. Then we're gonna move out to the barn area and get that done. And these are in here soaking. It's perfect.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Sia, what are you doing? She was just putting her feet in my hair.
She's starting.
update. We got all the weeds taken care of. Can't even tell, honestly, because they just incorporated beautifully.
They were hiding themselves.
They were, but we were able to unearth all of the stones around here, which does make it nice.
Yeah.
For the walking.
Because it's such a deep bed that, you know, you have to have something, some way to get to the back without, you know, destroying everything.
We also got the holes dug. So we've got one here, there, and then 2 over here. So now we're going to pop some Bio-tine starter fertilizer in the hole as well as a bunch of water. And then we will introduce our rose. I just want to show you how to do it close up. Okay, I'm testing this out. I might need to make the hole a little bit wider, but when you are planting a bare root rose like this, you want to make sure that you have it deep enough and wide enough to where this whole big stalk right here is buried. Usually we bury it right up to this part right here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make this a bit wider, which is kind of hard because there's a huge root in here. What kind of tree used to be here? Was it a crabapple?
Yeah.
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 So we've been working around some big old roots in here.
Well, and it could even be this maple tree.
That's true. This maple tree was here when we moved in.
Yeah, this is about 50 years old.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to have a little bit in the center that the roots can go around. Got our starter fertilizer. Let's pop our rose down in here, make sure all the roots are down, and I think this is going to work out perfectly. That's where our soil level is, but I think that it'll be beautiful right here. Put a little bit of soil in there around those roots. Yep. Perfect, thank you. Okay, and then I'm just going to pack soil all around this plant.
I would help you, hon, but I can't, there's no room.
Yeah, I'm totally great down here.
Okay.
Yep. That's a Julia Child, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at my awesome tie job. You don't even see it, do you?
No, totally not noticeable. Okay, so we got the first one planted, and the reason why you want to nest it down in here is that it protects it from rocking, like in the wind, and you know, freeze-thaw cycles and things like that. And it also helps it root a little bit better. So that is just perfect. So I'm going to water it in again, and then we can move on to the next one, which we were looking at the stats. What was it? 5 by 3?
5 by 3.
So 5 feet tall by 3 feet wide. But the thing is that you got to kind of ignore those.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Like if you want a garden that looks like their garden, you got to you've got to sort of ignore those spacing rules if you want it to be abundant and full.
A little bit of attention, but you don't think that it's like law.
Right.
It's not law.
No.
You can make it like, I like things to touch.
Yeah.
I like trees to touch eventually, and not all of them.
Sure.
But like little ornamentals, I want it to look dense and lush, but not so close to where it's unhealthy.
Right.
But it can still touch, and it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's water this in.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, that looks great. Okay, that times 3 more in this bed. All right, guys, first area is done.
It's amazing.
It looks pretty.
It's amazing.
You want to walk us through?
Sure.
Show us the roses.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like, I think having the rocks blown off and cleaned off gave it new life.
It looks like somebody lives here.
Yeah.
Before it looked like an abandoned home.
It did not.
Yes. Okay, so you know what? The little forget-me-nots, I think this time of year, they just kind of meander around, kind of like a meadowy
Yeah.
English garden kind of look. And they've just kind of moved themselves around where they're happy.
Yep.
Makes me happy. So then we've got this nice Instapot.
Yes.
Which I love.
I do too.
And it should get, huge.
And it's got drip, so it's good to go.
Yep, yep. It's on a timer. So there's the first David Austin right there, Evelyn. Second Evelyn.
Looking good.
This one I can't remember.
That was a tester rose of some kind?
Yeah, it's a tester rose.
And what color was it? Do you remember?
It's similar to Evelyn.
Be interesting to see what they look like together.
Yeah, yeah. Needs a little iron.
Well, I wasn't going to say.
Just me, you can say it.
Garden manners.
Yeah. Garden etiquette.
That's right. What are you doing? Oh, that's quite the gurgle you got going.
So here's the third
Nice.
Evelyn right there. And this is a Pugster Blue, another Pugster Blue. And there's third Pugster Blue over there. I don't know.
You
It
swing
almost
around.
died down.
It's right here. It looks healthy and
It does look healthy.
and happy, what's left of it.
So, and salvias, I don't remember what kind of echinacea these are, but I bet you anything they're a salmony pink color. Because that's my favorite. And anyway, I think the Evelyn's going to look real pretty with that. And there's the fourth one.
Which there was actually 7 roses.
They gave you an extra.
They gave me an extra in that box, which is perfect. So we
Super
were able to
nice.
put 4 here, and then we'll put the other 3 out by the barn.
And then, of course, in our garden, sweet woodruff is a thug.
Yeah,
It just is, it's just everywhere, but I don't mind it. It covers the ground. It doesn't seem to choke out much of anything. I
No.
mean, things will go right up through it.
Right.
Because it's hopped up there on that wall.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
it has.
Yeah. And that's all just its own little doings.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that. Things move around. And in here, there are grasses. This is a kind of a miscanthus.
It's really pretty.
It is pretty. And it'll get like this tall.
Okay.
Not super tall.
Is it a Discampsia?
Could be.
Like a Northern Lights or something like that?
Maybe. I have a record of it at some point. I have a tag.
Do you?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty.
Isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then foxglove, of which you planted.
Yeah, and I can't remember, but I want to say that these are white or peach.
They have to be one or the other.
Yeah, because I think all the lavenders ended up down in the in below.
Right.
So yeah, those did kind of hang out a little bit.
These are Mont Brunos.
Those are pretty. I just planted one.
Oh,
it was a replacement for one that, yeah.
It's some of my favorites. I mean, winter gem boxwoods I love, but these Mont Brunos are so well behaved. Now look at that lemony lace.
That is a beautiful plant.
Isn't that pretty? That's a beauty.
It is.
These are both Julia Child tree roses.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we did go through this level real quick. There weren't very many weeds in here, but the suckers were something else.
This does sucker. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I did as best as I could without loppers.
Oh, it looks great.
But
you know what? We have that stuff, that sucker stop stuff, so you cut them off and then you spray it and then they don't come back up.
Right.
So like crab apples that do it really bad, that's what you do. Yeah.
Is that what you do?
No. That's what you do.
Well, not so great. I'm not great at it either. I love the Hakanakloa down here.
Isn't that pretty?
Yes, that's an Areola variety.
Yes, it is.
And that is beautiful with the Muscari.
It's so pretty. And then there's hostas in here, and there's Mountain Bluet, or what's the other name for it? Centaurea.
You know what I love about Centaurea? Okay, so the bloom is really pretty, and this is an aggressive one in some people's gardens.
It can be here.
Can it? Mm-hmm. But I love this.
Isn't it? It looks netted.
It does, like the buds before they bloom.
Yeah.
I think they have such a unique look to them.
We have a real pretty one in the nursery right now. It's white with a very dark, just the center of it is purple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's super pretty.
Oh.
Yeah. And then bleeding hearts, we've got white and pink. And they've been here for years and years.
Yeah, they have.
They look like little ballerinas.
Also, the iris that's in here, this whole thing used to be iris. I remember
iris.
that.
But it got so shady.
Yeah.
That they just kind of got spindly. They didn't bloom much, and I don't know if these will bloom. See, I don't see buds.
So
but they might.
They got shady because they, Mom and Dad planted a crabapple and 2 willow leaf pears where the rose trees are. And those
Yeah.
eventually, like it was sun,
Yeah.
and then it was shade,
Yeah.
and then all those trees are gone. So now
Right.
it's kind of sunnier over there.
Yeah.
But this has gotten big.
Yeah. It's so pretty. That's another crabapple right down there.
Really pretty. Just creates
Yeah.
that beautiful canopy.
This is the kids like to come and they like to run around in this little area.
Well,
'cause
who
they think
wouldn't?
it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little secret.
Yeah.
A little secret room. Huh, Benjamin?
All right, you ready to
Yeah.
go plant the other 3?
Yeah,
Let's
we're
do it.
ready, right?
Okay, we're gonna have to dump some of this water out.
You know what we'll do? We'll tip it onto the deal so it doesn't mess up all the,
The mulch.
well, yeah,
Just a little at a time, maybe.
yeah. Let it absorb.
Now it's like a flood.
It is.
Play with that.
Yeah.
Those are good and soaked.
Yes, they are.
Lava! Lava!
It comes quick.
Look out! All right.
Yep.
Let's pick this up and dump some over here.
Oh,
Okay, do it. Put it here.
jeez, leash. Okay, so this is location number 2. We're at the sheep barn. The kids and my mom are at the chicken barn right now gathering up eggs. But look at the view today. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. Now this area we planted up last year with some perennials and lavender. Everything looks really nice. But this is where the Evelyns are, right in here. They get a lot of strong morning sun from this side. You can see this one's still kind of in sun, but we're getting to late afternoon now. So these are starting to be in a bit more shade. But we're actually thinking we're gonna use all 4 roses in here and do 1, 2, 3, 4. Just go in between these and then flank the trio here, just to make it look super full. I think it's gonna look great. So I'm just gonna get in there and start digging some holes. All done. Mom's just watering them in.
These are so old.
You could almost put another one right here, Mom.
Yeah.
Or you should put a vine right
Wouldn't
here.
that be pretty? But
Yes.
it might go. I have to be real careful.
True,
Clear up in the leylands.
true.
Yeah. Some people call them leylands, but it's Ley. Isn't that ley?
A is in obey,
Leyland.
but E is in key, but that's usually at the end of a word.
Yeah. Lay. Land.
Chickens.
Chickens, and then the kids are out in the pasture. They're trying to look for bones and skulls and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, they've managed to find a couple hip bones.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, we got them all in, and that was no small feat. Mom, this area is hard to dig in.
Yeah, it is.
Way different than the cut garden
Well, I
over
think
there.
we just live on a rock pile
Yeah.
and roots.
Well, the
Tree
roots, I think from the Leyland cypress and the poplars over here. I think it was the second one in. I ran into a root like this big around, and I just had to put the roots of the rose around
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There was no digging that up.
Nope.
So
Nope.
anyway, I think they'll fill in beautifully in here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then that was the potted one. So pretty. And just a quick look at this, since we did this together.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, the hardy geraniums, the
Yeah.
lavender, there's echinacea.
And it's all coming back up.
Those are phlox, right?
Those are phlox.
Do you remember what color were those? The white?
I think they're David's. And then these, I'm going to make signs. Because can you remember the names of all this
We
stuff?
need to invest in split the cost of one of those engraving machines.
I know,
or
we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked into it. I don't know who sells them, but I would
We need
love
to get Aaron
know.
on that.
I know it. I'd love it.
Hey, chickens.
No. Got pretty far down.
What'd you guys find? You want to show me?
Just 2 hip bones, that's all.
Two bones.
Just 2 hip bones.
This one goes to down and then that one.
Oh, so interesting.
Come on. I'm gonna
Show them how that one works.
You're going to start a collection?
That's a ball joint.
Oh, anatomy lesson.
Yeah.
That's a hip bone. You have hip bone right here.
Yes, I do. So do you, right
that's
here.
That's what that is,
Mhm.
Samantha. That is what that is. That's how our leg moves right here. It's a ball joint.
Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for our project here, but I would like to head home and grab our last 2 Evelyn Roses and get those in the ground. So let's go do that. It's our Evelyn Rose day. All right, guys, we are back home and I found the perfect spots for our last 2 Evelyns. And here they are. So I don't know if we mentioned before, but they are a zone 5 through 11. And I thought one would look great, maybe right in here. I think that would be really pretty. And while it will get tall, and this is pretty short at the moment, I do plan on lifting this canopy. This is a prairie fire crabapple, and it's so beautiful. I love it. And the second one is gonna go across the walkway over in a spot where I planted a rose last year and it died. See? Nothing much left of it. I think that'll be pretty. I usually don't plant 2s of things next to each other out in a landscape situation unless it's like flanking a walkway or an opening or something like that. If I've got 2 or 1 of something, I like to just tuck them in, and these get big enough to where that's all you need. You don't need to have a whole bunch of them together. I think it'll be pretty to have that repeat color too. This should go a little bit quicker. Our soil's much easier to dig than my parents' soil. Theirs is just so full of rocks and roots. All those look pretty, especially from this angle. Looking from underneath the canopy of this crabapple, and then the lemony lace, just so vibrant over there, my goodness. But I love them from this angle too. So just imagine, like, this one is going to be tall and full of those beautiful blooms, and then the same interest over there kind of pulling you down. Oh, I love it. So fun. And you guys, that is going to do it for today's projects. What a fun day. And it was sort of impromptu as well, because I just got the box from Grace Rose Farm and thought we've got to get them in the ground right away. We can't let them sit there. So I texted my mom and said, hey, do you want to plant these roses? And we were going to maybe go shoot for tomorrow morning. And then it ended up working out today to where our schedules both opened up and we were able to meet out there and do that. So it's so fun. And I love having a couple of them here in our garden as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.